Hey there, Danny here. Excuse me, welcome to my ramblings. We're in the bedroom again. Um, Mira's decided that we need to come to bed at night. She's now the night dog, but she doesn't bark about it. She only barks if somebody comes around or somebody new. Otherwise, if she wants to go outside or anything else, she doesn't bark at me. She comes and sits and stares at me. And if I don't notice her, she lays her head on me. And at that point she knows. She looks up at me with those big brown eyes, and all I can say is, why you gotta be so cute? And then I know exactly what she wants. I give her the word, which, do you want to go outside? She jumps up and there we go. So she doesn't really bark, but she'll come and be cute and everything else. And then if I don't follow her or tell her, hey, you want to go night night, she'll come in here and she'll sit at the foot of the bed staring at me until I realize. So we're in bed tonight, guys. This just came to me. I was thinking about it earlier today when I was working for a little bit, and then I had some car issues that made me have to cut out early and have to go take care of in the morning, Welcome to adult life. Driving a piece of shit. It really shouldn't be that big of a deal. So we should be back on the road tomorrow. But I got to thinking about this, and I was seriously going to have a conversation with you about trust and respect. I'm not sure how everybody else thinks about it, but trust, I don't make people earn. Trust is given right from the beginning for one reason, because trust is so easily broken. And once trust is broken, it's near impossible, if at all, to be able to be replaced. Respect is earned. That's earned over time. But because trust is so easily broken, each person has their own boundaries, their own things that nope, I'm not going to tolerate this. And here's how it works. If you love yourself and you find your true authentic self, you've started your walk with the man upstairs, you're heading in the right direction for your life. You're learning who you are. You're learning to see the world in a totally different way. You know what you will tolerate and what you will not tolerate. And that's what a lot of people will call boundaries. Well, you can give trust, because if they break it, it's damn near impossible to get back. So when they overstep boundaries, you speak up, you say something. You can say it nicely and politely. And they can apologize for it. Whether they realized they were doing it or not is totally irrelevant in my book. It doesn't matter whether they knew it or not, because if they knew it, here's why it doesn't matter. Because if they knew what they were doing, they're going to do it again, and then there's no more chances. If they didn't do it intentionally, once you call them out on it and let them know that this is a boundary that you're not okay with, that you will walk away, at that point, they're never going to do it again, because they don't want to have to lose you. That's the difference. You don't need to know either one. When you give that boundary, you will literally find that out as time. And as time goes, you learn to respect the person, because that's how respect is earned, because over time, they respect your boundaries, your personal lines that you will not allow people to cross. And they earn respect by the fact that, oh, okay, There was an issue here. I addressed it. They apologized. They never did it again. It was never an issue. This didn't become a problem. It was done. You respect them more each time that happens. If they don't, and they do the thing again because the first time was intentional, they never earn your respect. And that means that they lost your trust. I mean, in my head, that makes total sense. So when I first start meeting people or I start dating people, they're always concerned about this trust thing. Like they have to earn my trust. And I'm thinking, you don't have to earn my trust. Trust is given. You have to earn my respect. I trust you until you tell me not to trust you, based off of your actions, repeated actions. I 100% believe in second chances. That's how you find out definitively if it was intentional or not. You don't have to sit and worry about whether it was intentional or not. You give that clear boundary that you won't tolerate. Whether it was intended or not, they're going to apologize. They're not going to have a choice. And then at that point, if they do it again, it was intentional. They just lost your trust and never earned your respect. To me, that just makes total sense. I'm always shocked when I start dating somebody and they feel this excessive, overwhelming need to prove to me that I can trust them. It kind of trips me up in the mind and says, are you not trustworthy? Are you trying to tell me something about yourself? Because the truth is, in my mind, trust is given freely. Respect is earned based off of that trust. It really is. To me, the two go together. So when I start with somebody new and they come and they have they're very, very extremely worried about the trust. I don't know if that comes from dealing with somebody crazy from their past and it's baggage that they're worried about, or if it has to do with they're untrustworthy. It's one of those two things. Which one, I don't know. But that's why you give the trust. And if a boundary's crossed, you gently and calmly let them know. And let them know you're not going to tolerate it. That you'll walk. You got no problem walking away. At all. And then let them make their decision from there. They're going to apologize and try to make it work. Or they're not going to apologize. And we'll see. We'll see exactly. They'll step up or they won't. And if they don't step up, well, then you got your answer. You know it's because they're untrustworthy. If they step up, then you know it more than likely has to do with having to deal with jealous people in the past. I'm not a jealous person. I don't desire something that isn't for me. I have everything that I want. And if somebody truly, I'm a firm believer that if somebody truly loves you, they would never be looking someplace else to replace you while they were with you. That's not love. So if I'm with somebody and they choose to go with somebody else, let them go. And I learned this lesson the hard way. My second marriage ended with 13 confirmed affairs. And I'll tell you, that about killed me. And it about killed me because I had initially felt like I felt stupid because he did this with coworkers at the same place that we worked together. People that we mutually worked with knew this, but nobody told me. So I felt like this big fool. But why? It wasn't my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. Why did I feel like a fool? I was angry and bitter with those people because why didn't they tell me? Because they didn't have the guts? They weren't really my friend? It didn't matter. Back then it did. But now it don't matter. But when I found out that one of the confirmed affairs was with somebody of his sex, it changed everything for me. And instantly, it probably took about a week. And I was like, okay, I don't have that anatomy. I can't fulfill that. There's no way that that's even possible. I'm a female, not a man. And at that point, that whole week after that, I got to thinking, why am I not thinking the same way if it's a woman? And I thought, well, God, that's foolish. We're just not matched up. He wants to go, let him go, and he disappeared. Tough situation at the time. If you would have asked me when it happened, I probably would have told you it was freaking intense and damn near broke me. But I had the most amazing sons in the world. And their friends. Which is who I refer to as my boys. That's my sons and their friends. Because after that, I just worked. I didn't do anything else. I just worked. And the girlfriends of my sons and their friends would come and drag me out here and there to go do makeovers or whatever. And the kids, their friends, they would drag me out to go do things. It could be just, let's go for a ride. Let's go for a ride and go out to the desert and look at the stars. It was just simple things. And they kept me, they didn't let me wallow in my depression that summer. And I wanted to. I wanted terribly to just wallow in I wanted to wallow in self-pity. I was ready to go down that depressive rabbit hole. But my kids and their friends wouldn't let me. They saved me from me. And once I started to realize that that's what they were doing, I asked them, and they all admitted that's exactly what they were doing. And at that point, I knew I had to figure out how to get over this. I had to figure out how to heal from this. I owed it to all of them. These kids were like 18 and 19-year-old kids. I mean, my youngest son just was like a month away from finishing high school. So it was impressive that these young men and women stepped up to keep me from falling down that rabbit hole of depression. And I owed it to all of them because they shouldn't have had to do that. And at the time I felt bad about it. And that's why I said, all right, that's it. I got to pull myself up. I got to figure this out. I got to heal and get over this and show to these kids that their help actually caused me to heal and become a better person. And once I started on that trajectory of healing to show those kids that what they did wasn't done in vain, it became a habit, a progression. So I started looking over all of my life, and I've fallen. I can't tell you how many times I've fallen. 2020, I ended up coming back here from Wisconsin out here to Arizona, and at the time I only had my little dog, little girl, and everything I could fit in my 2018 Jeep Wrangler, and it was a two-door. That's all I owned. I didn't even own a television. No dishes, no bedding, no bed, no nothing. And when I got out here, I lived off of a air mattress and a couple of lawn chairs for a while. But you know what? I slowly but surely replaced the stuff, and I realized every time I have to start over, I've done it so many times in my life that every time I have to start over, I don't look at it as a bad thing. Every time I have to start over, I look at it as this is awesome, because every time I start over, I learn a lot, I grow a lot, and I come back better than I ever was before. So if I fall, I'm okay with falling. I'm okay with it. And I'm okay with it because I know that when I come back, it's going to be better. And I'm just going to keep moving forward, because at some point, I'm not going to fall anymore. And I know that's coming, and it's around the corner. I can feel it. The one thing you get when you learn to find your true authentic self and love yourself, you honestly learn. You honestly learn to have clarity. You can see. Because you've taken the time to look back over your life and realize where your flaws were. And looking at that, you realize that, holy shit, I've been working on my flaws all along, because each time I got smacked to the ground, I never wanted to be in that position again. So I looked at everything that I did, so I wouldn't have to be in that position again. And that's what made me do better each time. Because each time I looked at me and what I could fix in me each time. So by the time I got to the last having to start over from scratch in 2020, I thought, this is it. It's only up from here. And the reason being is I realized one thing. This was the thing that shocked me, though, in 2020, when I started on this journey to learn to love myself and find my true authentic self. What I learned was I had more money when I wasn't dating somebody or wasn't with somebody. And I was slightly confused, because I'm the girl. I'm the female. Isn't that role supposed to be reversed? And when I thought about that, I thought, God, let me review this. And I'd look over my relationships and I'm like, I dated a lot of womanly men. They were in their feminine energy, which automatically put me into my masculine energy. Because whether you want to believe it or not, it's the duality. It's the yin and the yang. It's the good and the bad, the light and the dark, the masculine and the feminine. It's the polar opposites. We have all of it in us. And then I realized, holy shit, I've spent my whole life taking care of men. Yeah, that's never happening again. And I vowed that, and I followed through. The minute I see any form of me taking care of a man financially, I'm out. Nope, not happening. You're in your feminine energy. I don't want to be in my masculine. I want to be in my feminine. So I need to find a man who's in his masculine, not his feminine. And you start to learn this stuff as you start to find your true authentic self and love yourself. You start to find these things and realize these things. And they just automatically become boundaries, because you're like, I don't ever want to go back there. I don't ever want to be in that position again. And that's pretty much how it's always happened. Every time I've fallen, no matter how long, no, how deep, how far, or even if it was just a small fall, I always looked at the fall and thought, what did I do? Where was my issue in this? And I would fix that. And then I wouldn't have to deal with it again, because that now became a boundary for me. And that's why I have this channel. That's why I do this. I don't care if I never go viral. I don't care if I never make any money off of this. I want to help as many people as I can to realize that they too can learn to love themselves and find their true authentic self and not have to go through the shit they've gone through. And it's a long journey, and it's not for the weak. And I'm not talking thick-skinned either. You can kiss thick skin goodbye. Thick skin has nothing to do with finding your true authentic self and loving yourself. Man, that's some hell to go through. It really is. But I can guarantee you, I promise you, that it's well frickin' worth it. Because being on this side of it, I don't have to worry. I don't worry. I don't worry about tomorrow. I just live today. I gotta get through today. I know what bills are coming up. I know what I have to have for this day and for this day and for that day. And I just live day to day. I don't really think about much of that. I continue to do these videos. I do a lot of writing. I haven't put any of it into book form yet, but that's coming. I've been a writing fool for probably the last 6 months, 7 months. It's pretty much what I do when I come home from work is I hang out with the dogs, I feed them. Sometimes we go for a walk. And then I'm writing and doing videos and learning about stuff. Stuff that I'm curious about, stuff that I want to understand. I'm all about the whole energy thing, and I've talked about it several times on here. So, there's a big thing to that. But I'm telling you, just keep looking at yourself. Every time you get into a situation and you never want to be in that situation again, look at you. Because nobody's going to come save you. You're the one who has to save you. The person. Everybody watches these superhero movies and all this other shit. You do understand that the person you're supposed to be saving is yourself, dumbass? There's no superhero coming to save you. You are your own fucking superhero. Look at yourself, damn it. Grow up, learn. Once you do that, once you save yourself, once you become your own superhero, you don't have to deal with the shit you had to deal with before. Because you don't care. You don't care. The only thing you care about is growth and moving forward. And anything that stops you or tries to hinder your growth and moving forward, you're like, bye. In the beginning, it's sad. In the beginning, you're like, oh, that person's been in my life for X amount of years. And, oh, it's so sad that I can't have them come with me. You can't. They're not there for your best interest. They can't come with you. But after a while, and a few times of going through it, you start to realize that your life is getting better each time you walk away from those people that keep holding you back. And then you start to meet new people. But when you first start to meet those new people, there's still a little fear there because you're like, oh, can I trust these people? You don't have to trust them. That's what you don't realize. You don't have to trust them. You have to trust you. If you trust yourself, if you find your true authentic self and you learn to love yourself, you save yourself. You learn to trust yourself. You learn to know that your instincts, your judgment, your knowledge, your growth is going to guide you through the whole thing. And once you start realizing that, letting people go is going to be easy. You might run into them and chat with them a little bit, but you know they can't come with you. And you don't get as sad anymore because you realize that that's part of their journey. Part of their journey is to watch you grow. Hopefully, because we lead by example. We don't lead by being a boss, acting like we're in charge. That's not how we lead. We lead by example. So if you keep moving forward in your life, the people that you're saying goodbye to, you're not hurting them. Well, essentially at that moment, it's hurting them. But if they want to go where you're at, they can. All they got to do is start growing for themselves. And once they do, maybe they'll catch up. Maybe they won't. But that's not your decision. That's not your job. You're here to take care of you. That's what you're here for. Not anybody else. You put you first. That's not selfish. And I'm not talking material possessions or anything like that. You make sure that you're happy, that you're content, that you are okay living with these things. If something causes you stress, get rid of it. If it's something you cannot live with because it causes you too much stress, get rid of it. I don't do drama. And for the longest time, I struggled. I don't get involved in it. But I struggled with, I kept getting sucked into it. Well, yeah, I kept getting sucked into it because I was thinking about it. Once I stopped caring and I started my journey with the man upstairs, I started to love myself and find my true authentic self. I didn't care. They could start all the drama they wanted. I just learned to bite my tongue and ignore them. And the more I did that, the more I felt at peace. And I just kept doing it. And it wasn't easy. Especially when I was younger, to bite my tongue. Oh my gosh. Bite my tongue, that was probably a long lesson. There were times where I bit back. And I knew I shouldn't have. But I did. And it wouldn't be until I would learn not to bite back. And that's what 2020 turned into. I don't bite back. You want to start trouble? Bye. See ya. My cutoff game is solid and quick. Solid and quick. You made your decision. See ya. So, the point that I'm trying to make here is, if you learn to love yourself, find your true authentic self, life will become easier, much nicer. I'm working on trying to stay in my feminine, even though I still have to be in my masculine to some extent because, well, I have to fix the car. I have to work a ton of hours just so I can keep roof over my head and everything. So there's still that piece of the masculine with me of the drive. Let's keep doing this. But eventually we'll get out of this. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's slow and steady, and I know that it's coming. that we're getting there. It's not far off now. Because I've been doing it. I've been doing it for so long now. The last 2 years since the accident. That accident screwed everything up for me. I mean, I was screwed. I was financially hurting before it, but that really screwed me. But it also made me realize that I need to trust him more. That's what that taught me. He will provide. He will provide. And he has. He has. And I have no regrets, just gratefulness and thankfulness for him providing for me. It's not been easy, but anything worthwhile isn't always easy, is it? Anyways, I'll leave you with that tonight. You can hear my little dog back here. I think we might need to go out one more time. Anyways, have a good night, guys. Love ya. Bye.